So what's up with it, y'all? Say this is Banks. I'm for to holler at y'all for a little bit. Put y'all up on some real game for all my business owners, for all my entrepreneurs. Say, listen, it's time to start exposing all of these fake bourgeoisies and all of these fake attorneys and fake ass CPAs that is giving us part of the information, leaving information out. What's the main thing that as a people that we always say? If you lying, if you leave something out, you lying by default. If you're telling me something, if you're telling me a story, if you're telling me how to do something, or if you're instructing me on something, but then you leave bits and pieces of pertinent information out of the details. You lying to me. You leading me down the wrong path. You giving me just enough to want to do this or to want to do that, but you're not giving me all of the information that's necessary. And that's what all these bourgeoisies are doing. Like this chick right here that I have on the screen, attorney Jillene Doolkadir. All right. I think she said that. What did she say she was into? She into something. When I play this video, she may mention it. She has a niche. She has a specific area of expertise that she does things in, but she also gives business advice as well. And I'll say it again and I'll reiterate again. We operate now. I'm not a radical. I'm not a black nationalist, or any of those things. But one thing that I do know for certain is that we operate under a system of white supremacy. That's just a fact. I mean, I can take the necessary time and take y'all down through there, but there's plenty of YouTube videos that's already out there on the topic, on the subject, and they are on point and they are on cue. But the people like Jillene Doolkadir and the information that she's passing on as far as business advice is some of the worst business advice that you could ever possibly take. And I say that because people like Jillene Doolkadir, they continue to point us down a road. You know how you might ask somebody, say, man, how do I get over here to such and such and such and such? And a motherfucker just give you all the wrong directions. And by the time you take that route, you ain't nowhere near where you supposed to be. They done gave you some wrong shit. But that's what Jillene Doolkadir, along with some of her other cohorts and professionals and bourgeoisie members, are giving to the people. They're giving you bad information. Let's listen. And I'm gonna break down some of the things that she's saying in the video.
A topic of basic tax considerations. So there's tons of information out there on the internet and all over YouTube telling you how you can save tons of money if you open up an LLC. Listen, I'm not a tax attorney. I'm just a regular schmegular attorney. So I cannot tell you if that is the best option for you, but I can say this. Your tax planning and your tax structure is very specific to you and your tax needs, right? The overarching thing of what you're doing with your business taxes and your personal taxes. So you're going to have to discuss this with your accountant or your CPA and make sure that all of that makes sense for you. But when you start a single member LLC, you basically have two general options. So when you applied for your EIN on the IRS website, you probably defaulted to being taxed as a disregarded entity. And what this means for federal income tax purposes is that you're just going to report all of your business income on your own personal tax returns, your 1040. Your second option is to make an S Corp tax election by submitting a special form to the IRS. I have a video where I go over exactly what an S Corp is. You can check that out here. It's linked up here in the cards for you as well as down in the description box. An S Corp tax election still allows you to get pass-through taxation, so you're still going to pay personal income tax on the business income. The only difference is that you won't have to pay employment tax. And again, if that's something that you need more information on, you should definitely speak to your accountant or your CPA or your tax attorney for more information about that. Now, the things to avoid. This is probably the
Okay. Now I'm gonna stop her right there. I'm glad I stopped her right there with her praying hands, because Jillene Doolkadir, you definitely need prayer, sweetheart. And I'm gonna show you where she done misled the fuck out of the people. Now, either she doing that, either she left the information out because she's not really giving you free information to help you to begin with, and she wants you to contact her to do business with her, or she just a member of the bourgeoisie and she's just trying to mislead the people. However it go, she left out a whole part. Let me back up. Let me show y'all right here. Let me show y'all.
S Corp is. You can check that out here. It's linked up here in the cards for you, as well as down in the description box. For your EIN on the IRS website, right, you probably defaulted to being taxed as a disregarded entity. And what this means for federal income tax purposes is that you're just going to report all of your business income on your own personal tax returns, your 1040. Your second option is to make an S Corp tax elect.
Okay, now right here. Now she said the first option is what? What did she say the first option was? She said the first option was that you could just leave it as a as a default, which is going to which defaults to a disregarded entity, which basically means that your LLC is a sole proprietorship. It's a pass through, meaning that any income that the LLC generates, it's going to pass through to you, the individual, and you're going to pay taxes on your personal income tax return. All right. Then she said that the second option is the S Corp, which mimics the sole proprietorship. It also is a pass through entity, basically a sole proprietorship, where income generated by the LLC that chooses the S Corp election passes through to you and you pay it on your personal tax return. And she left it at that. She basically said, that's it. We got two options: sole proprietorship, and what else? The S corporation. What does that tell you? Because there are three options. Why would this attorney, Jillene Doolkadir, leave out the third option? Can anybody tell me? Why would this chick leave out the third option? Why? Because most people know, pretty much everybody know, we all trying to do this shit at low cost, and we want the right information. We really don't want to pay. We want to do it on our own. A lot of us are entrepreneurs. We're serial entrepreneurs. A lot of us like to do our own research, and we want to watch someone. We'll take a Jillene Doolkadir. She's an attorney, right? She's touted, in the community, in the Black community. She's an attorney. I'm sure she's well respected, and everybody is going to take her word for face value. But Jillene Doolkadir, you a snake. I know you a snake, because why did you leave out the third option? I'm gonna tell y'all what that third option is. That third option, just like you can elect to have your company set up as an S corporation, you can also set up your LLC and elect to have your LLC taxed as a C corporation. The C corporation is totally different from the S corporation and the sole proprietorship, and this is the beginning of your generational wealth. This is the company that you can build, that you'll be able to pass down to your children, your children's children, your children's children's children. There are astronomical savings as far as tax deductions. There are so many different ways, so many different things that you could do having your LLC set up as a C corporation. You just have to have the right tax planning, and you cannot listen to attorneys like Jillene Doolkadir. Her, and I'm gonna expose all their ass. Y'all gonna see videos. I'm gonna start going through, pulling these bourgeoisies up, and we gonna start exposing their ass. Because why? They got millions of views. They got thousands of followers. And what does that mean? That means that they misleading the shit out of the people. If they're telling you, all right, and don't get me wrong, listen, you want to consult a tax attorney, you want to consult a CPA, you want to find somebody that's going to give you the proper information. And if they're continuing to steer you to an S corp, I'm gonna tell you just like this. I'm gonna keep it one all the way motherfucking 1,000 with you. They trying to keep you in slavery. That's what they trying to do. The S corporation, all right, along with the sole proprietorship, along with partnerships that does not elect to be taxed as a C corporation. All of those shits is passed through. Everything gonna pass through to you, and you're gonna pay it on your 1040. Yeah, you get a lot of business deductions on your 1040 where you can minimize your taxes. Yeah, you can elect to have your LLC taxed as an S corp, where you really have to pay minimal or no self-employment tax, but it's nothing compared to the benefits, the deductions, the generational wealth that you get from forming a C corporation. Why come these bourgeoisies, and I call them bourgeoisie, the bourgeoisie are the black people that help fuel and continue white supremacy along with systemic racism. You know what I mean? Say, man, I'm not putting these people out there for y'all to fool with me. I'm putting them out there so y'all can quit following these people. You did. I'm a little hype. I really, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to find my niche. My niche. They blackballing me. They won't do shit. They won't spread my videos. They won't, the algorithms are not putting my videos and the things I post in front of the right people. So I got a lot of bullshit that I got to work through. But I'm gonna tell you like this right here, though. I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth. All these bourgeoisies, all these black folks, I got a lot of them. Let me find some more. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something. Because I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Let me see. It's another dude. What a dude there. Hang on 1 second. Let me find my mouse. I'm using dual screens and I'm new at this shit. Let me see. Where he at? What's that nigga name? This nigga named Carlton Dennis. This another nigga.
Right. How would you like to see 5 real-life examples of people making over $1 million a year online with nothing?
As of 2021, there are 31.7 million business owners in the United States. Many business owners are setting up LLCs. One out of
this another nigga. This nigga right here, Carlton Dennis. All this shit is for educational purposes, y'all. Everything in this video is for educational purposes. They're educating you, but what they're doing is they're misleading you. This is another one. One of his tactics and his tricks. He don't mention the C corp. I think I watched about 7 or 8 of his videos, and he might have mentioned the C corporation, the LLC being taxed as a C corporation, once and in passing, and he didn't elaborate on it, and he didn't expound on it as far as that being the premium selection. And as far as his personal clients or those that pay him once he gets you in, I'm not sure what he do. But on these videos, on these free videos, which is what most people watch in determining the things that they want to do in the direction that they want to head in, we try to find somebody that's reputable. We try to find somebody that look good, to speak well, that look like they got some shit, right? That's what we look for. We look for those that are touted in the community. We look for credentials. We look for success. Those are but them the ones that's misleading the shit out of everybody. They the ones, because if they're not talking about your LLC being taxed as a C corporation and showing you that route, I'm telling you right now, they are not looking out for your best interest. I'm just telling you that a single person, one individual, can set up an LLC and manage it as a C corporation, does not have to go through all of the red tape that C corporations have to go through, but you get to take advantage of all the benefits of forming and setting up a C corporation, from wealth building to tax benefits to asset protection. And this is where tax planning kicks in versus tax preparation. It's just so many things, you know. I'm just a one-man show. I don't have all the effort and energy put into these videos like they're doing. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take their videos and I'm gonna chop them hoes down, and I'm gonna point everything out one by one. This dude right here, all he doing S corp. What's an S corp? A S corp is no more than a sole proprietorship, a pass-through entity. Yeah, you got an EIN, and yeah, it appears to be separate, and yeah, he tells you to go get a separate bank account so it can remain separate. But who is the motherfucking taxpayer? Huh? Who is the taxpayer? I wouldn't give a fuck about what they talking about a LLC and how it's got limited liability. You know, if it's taxed as an S corp or an S corp outright, how it has limited liability, you know, but it's still a pass through. Whoever the fucking taxpayer is the one that's going to be responsible for everything that's going down. Who is the taxpayer? We only got two taxpayers in the United States of motherfucking America. We only got two taxpayers. Either it's a human, flesh and blood individual, such as you and me, or it's your business. One of the two. One of the two. And if you're the taxpayer, I wouldn't give a damn. They're going to find a way to make you responsible for all that. So I don't recommend C Corps. I don't recommend sole proprietorships. What I recommend is an LLC, and you had that bitch taxed as a C corporation. That's what you need to do. And when you contact these people and when you pay these people all your bread, you need to let these people know, I don't want no S corp. I don't want no LLC left in its default status. I want an LLC that's being managed as a C corporation, and that's it. And that's what I want. And that's what you need to tell them, because that's where all your tax benefits are going to come from. That's where all of your generational wealth is going to come from. And the good thing about it is the C corporation, all right, your LLC, taxed as a C corporation. Say, man, it is unmotherfucking believable out here. You hear me? Unbelievable. Fuck with it. Watch this dude right here. Watch him. Let me go over here. I'm trying to learn how to operate these new monitors, y'all.
6 taxpayers that comes to my office owns an LLC. I own 6 LLCs, and I've set up over 5,000 LLCs for my clients. L to the C. I love saying LLC because it reminds me of LL Cool J. LLCs are the most popular business vehicles that business owners set up. Why is it that most business owners who have LLCs aren't sure if they should be in LLCs? My name is Carlton Dennis, and in today's video, we are going to go over what you need to consider before setting up an LLC. LLC owners make a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry. And in today's video, I need to point out some of the mistakes that you need to be conscientious of before establishing your.
Okay. You got to pay real close attention to this dude, all right? Pay real close attention, and I'm going to point out all of his bullshit. Pay real close attention.
LLC. Let's dive in.
YouTube ads beat Facebook ads every time. Let's face it, Facebook ad costs are going through the roof. And even when you have a great ad, they're almost impossible to scale. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use YouTube ads to generate consistent leads and sales. I'm Alric Heck.
Mistake number 1 is not knowing the type of income you're receiving prior to setting up your LLC. This is really important. And the reason why is because there are 3 different income types you could be receiving, and it could determine whether or not you need an LLC versus an S Corp or a C corporation. The 3 different income types that you need to be familiar with are number 1, ordinary income. Ordinary income is everyday income that you work for and is typically in the form of W-2 wages or 1099 compensation. The next form of income is passive income. Passive income is income you technically do not have to work for. Typically, you're familiar with passive income from investment properties or interest that you earn off of the money that you have in your bank account. The third type of income is portfolio income. Portfolio income is typically income that you receive when you decide to sell capital assets or if you have capital gains tax from the sale of a rental property. These 3 types of income are important for us to know because it can help us decide whether or not it makes sense for us to have an LLC. So let's talk about it. Number 1, passive income. If we have passive income, what we have to understand is that passive income is not subject to Social Security tax or Medicare tax that ordinary income is subject to. So when you think about it, it may not make sense for you to worry about whether or not you have to eventually transition your LLC to an S corporation if you have rental real estate. If your income is passive, you don't have to worry about self-employment tax. So typically,